Hi, everybody. My name is Eric Johnson, and I am a professor of bilingual education at Washington State University. And I attended Western and majored in Spanish and anthropology, and graduated in 1997. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit today about the impact that being a Spanish major has had in my life, professionally and personally. So I initially didn't plan on majoring in Spanish, and I dedicated my major to anthropology, but I kept taking classes through my freshman and sophomore year, and absolutely loved it, and felt very supported by all of the professors. I just adored my classmates. We were very close. Had a lot of community engagement events together, um, and the courses were absolutely phenomenal. I just really appreciated the way that taking grammar classes was seen as the only thing that you do as a major in Spanish, but in reality, we took classes that involved history and culture, literature courses, linguistics. That was my passion, and so majoring in Spanish is much more than just mastering grammar, which a lot of people tend to believe. It also provided me with opportunities to study abroad. And I was fortunate enough to be able to go to Morelia, Michoacan, when I was at Western and study abroad there. And then after I graduated, I was able to study abroad in Spain, all because I was given the linguistic foundation of Spanish at Western. So for me, being interested in anthropology, uh, language really encompassed everything that was focused on in terms of working with immigrant communities, Latin America, um, education programs, travel. And so majoring in Spanish really opened up doors to allow me to dig deeper into those interests. And professionally, I was also interested in teaching. And so it gave me a pathway into not only teaching Spanish, but how language is used in classrooms on a broader level. And that's really what I do today. So throughout my career, I've been fortunate enough to be a high school Spanish teacher. I was also involved in developing a bilingual education program in Arizona. Um, when I went back to do my graduate degree, I had such a solid foundation in Spanish that I was hired by a community college in Mesa, Arizona to teach Spanish. I also taught Spanish at Arizona State University, where I was doing my PhD in anthropology. And right now, my job as a professor of bilingual education isn't necessarily focused on teaching Spanish, but it's about working with teachers who teach in Spanish to Spanish speaking students in the elementary and middle school level. And that's only one part. I also use Spanish in my everyday community engagement activities and opportunities. The research that I do and publications that I do are focused on language and immigration, and how those contexts are navigated by families and teachers. And it's all based on a social justice slant, right? Providing linguistic rights to communities that speak other languages. Now, technically, in terms of the teaching about Spanish, I have had a lot of really fun opportunities aside from teaching Spanish in high school and at the community college in Arizona. One of the courses that I teach is called Teaching and Learning 411 Bilingual Methods across content areas. And it's a fun class because all of the students are native Spanish speakers. We teach it all in Spanish, and it's about bilingualism and pedagogies in Spanish, right? So you're teaching math and history and science and language arts in Spanish. But it's fun to work with the teachers on the formal academic uh, grammar and orthography points in Spanish that I learned out Western. So it feels really good to be able to give back to the community and teachers in the local schools, to help them, improve things like accents and writing in standard forms. And I still work for a part time at a community college here in the Tri Cities. and teaching Spanish 101. They call it 121, but because I really like that opportunity to open up windows for students who are just starting into their language careers and motivate them to continue on. And then I also substitute teach in the Pasco School District, and I've done that quite a bit in English language development courses with kids who come from Latin America, and so I'm able to use their knowledge of Spanish to connect to English. Um, and then for broader uses of Spanish, I recently published an article on bilingual programs in the Yucatan. And the article's in Spanish, so that was a very humbling experience to write an academic article in Spanish. I've done presentations on language appreciation, like the TED Talk right there, and using English and Spanish and Spanglish, right, as a resource. And I do a lot of parent and family engagement opportunities where I'm presenting about um, higher access to higher education for immigrant families, and that's all in Spanish. And so it all stems from my experiences at Western and how the faculty there were able to cultivate my interests and really provide me with that foundation to use Spanish as as a resource professionally and personally. Um, I think a lot of times we talk about majoring in Spanish so you can get a better job, but it's more than that, right? Spanish is one of the most widely spoken languages in the world. It spans all job arenas, right, and careers, no matter what you're interested in doing. It's all based on language, and when you know another language, you have twice as much access and opportunities. And it helps be a more informed citizen and engage your community and the community members, especially here in Washington, where Spanish is such a predominant language. And it really shapes your view of the world and your place in it and others. I've had the opportunity to travel to many different countries in Latin America and experience different dialects, and it keeps me humble, right? It keeps me grounded in appreciation for people who speak other languages and how they've treated me. So if you have any questions about being a Spanish major, feel free to send me an email and I can Zoom with you or talk on the phone. I don't work for Western, so I can give a insight into what a great program that is, and not have you feel like I'm recruiting you to WSU. But if you're even on the fence, yeah, I highly recommend majoring in Spanish. It has changed my life. Okay, so hopefully, if you have any questions, you'll contact me. If not, happy language learning. Bye bye.